Morning, guys. So we had a little bit of a loss yesterday with the GN, and what should have happened is that we shouldn't have triggered that many. You can see the time, 6:36, 6:51, 6:58. So those three were probably NA, not applicable, because I was simply testing functionality, and so they should be hour spaced. Okay, and so those three are probably invalid. So we can probably take 15 off that total. It's not great, admittedly, and we can look at the regularity of those hourly time frames. We can do like every 90 minutes. That could be better. And so we're currently 91 minus 91 and currently plus 15, 16. And we have de-risks, so that's good. We had way too many trades run in, so we've got a lot less trades, which is good. And we'll just have to see how we go. Remember, this week was like preliminary functional testing, and then next week is like proper testing, and then probably the week after as well, until we get some nice results. And what we want to do is try and get a good trade history so we can fall back on that. But we know long term that this should be fairly successful. But we have to probably think about the volume of trades it was creating. We probably don't really want to do it every hour, maybe. But that's what we can see next week. If next week's a huge success, perhaps we can have every hour, and then we'll just have to see how we go. So, uh, yeah, so what I'll do is publish the results. Don't forget we had cross yen from last week, and they were failures as well. So the weekly total is going to be quite poor, but we'll just have to carry on testing, won't we? And last week's CAD Gen, for example, it was a little bit like this GN, where we had one every like 5 minutes or so, but it was being spammed because I was just trying to ensure that the functionality was working between the spreadsheet and MetaTrader 4. So there was the CAD Gen, for example, accumulated quite a lot of loss because I was spamming it just to test the functionality. So whether or not the weekly total is going to be representative of what will be, it's not the case because it was testing. So just so you know. And let's look at gold. So we created a zone above which we can map. You can see how they've gone long, so therefore someone has to counter that trade. And I am looking forward to the testing next week, and hopefully you guys are going to get involved in the testing because I need some help with the TP and SL bit, and it might be worth putting in the TP trading stop on all, maybe, and then we can see how we go, because they would have all resulted in profit at some point. If we put a trading stop in, we would have got out of profit. So it's something to think about. What I might do, actually that's probably a good idea, I might test the trading stop because I'm using it on a VPS, so I can have I can have as many terminals as I want. I'll probably do that. Actually, I'll be testing the trading stop, I think, next week, and then we can compare the results, can't we? I'm not sure if anyone's going to be doing the testing. I'm not sure. No one's got back to me. But there's the zone on gold. So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll set that up over the weekend, I think. And so fairly bearish in a way, so they've gone long, but we have to remember the big pictures that we're buy. Okay, so it's probably going to hold a resistance, and if we do go above, we've got that resistance as well at 2047. DAX, and I'm sort of glad it's Friday actually. I feel quite tired. Yesterday was quite tiring. So we're making a buy. Are we 1771, 1771? We're basically on the moving average. But we have to remember we're really skewed though, so be careful. There won't be any bears left, basically. But we are going to make a buy in about 20 minutes, so we're probably going to pump a little bit. Note that we've got some technical resistance here, and they went long, so therefore they got punished. And you know that this box held actually a support box. It dipped into it, I think. Let's have a look, and I will try and remember to clean up these boxes. Did we dip into it? Yeah, we did, didn't we? More or less, we just had to dip into it. That's crazy. All right, so that's like the ninth respect of that box. So as long as that holds, possibly going to be okay. We know that we're by the big picture, and S&P. I can't remember if I've done S&P. Oh no, we haven't. We had the flag, so pump, dump, dump, possibly pump if we make a buy. Right, we need that number here to be lower than that number. So once it does, then then we'll get the buy signal, and then we possibly come up higher, but technically quite bullish. And so yeah, let's just see how we go. I'll probably been doing some more testing, I think, and with TPNSL with the trading stop. So that's possibly a very good idea. I think that's what I might do. And I'll welcome you guys to come back with some ideas and suggestions. That'd be great. And also the regularity of the signals. We'll do them hourly, as we did this week, next week. But if next week's a bit rubbish, we can look at the regularity of the signals and do it like every 90 minutes, or even every 2 hours. Because these micro lots, they do add up, and it's surprising. A lot of people trade with 0.1, but when if they keep adding, then it gets quite like a snowball effect. So we can keep with the micro lot, and then but we'll just look at the regularity next week. So we'll see how we go, and then to trade safely. And I'll speak to you guys on Sunday for the COT data.